Thank you, Karen Carolan. Thank you, Minister. Minister, this bill provides for the reopening of the EWSS for certain businesses who would otherwise not be eligible, and that such businesses can continue to be supported until the expiry of the scheme. The objective of the Employment Wage Subsidy Scheme is to support employment and maintain the link between the employer and the employee insofar as possible. Since the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic, the Government has adopted a proactive, I think, and a dynamic approach to supporting businesses and individuals insofar as possible during these challenging times, and they really were. So, Minister, as part of this debate today, I want to ask about hauliers, agricultural contractors and other businesses who are experiencing the same threat to their businesses. Can they avail of such supports? The Taoiseach this morning told this chamber that countries all around the world are facing the same price hikes, the same pressures. When COVID first came, countries all around the world faced the same threat. We all stepped up. The threat is the same to the livelihood now of hauliers, of suppliers, of the agricultural sector. We are already hearing that farmers cannot continue to supply food at the current prices in the face of the inflation now. And just even today, I had a man who rang me, he was really in a desperate state. He was really upset because he just said he had to think about letting go his staff and shutting down his business because he's not able to sustain the price of the fuel. Now, this is really worrying, and I firmly believe that there is people on their knees and there is businesses that are going to be in crisis. And another thing I've had over the last few months, since Christmas, heating oil. I've had so many people ring me and tell me that they cannot turn on their heating oil in their house. It's nearly doubled since January. And I know myself, like, the weather is so bad. An example, even my own mother is nearly 87. She rarely goes out of the house and she has her heating on 24/7. And she's at the stage, like others, that she's telling me she's now has to look at her options because the price of heating is unreal. And, Minister, if we're able to cut the diesel and petrol, surely we'll be able to cut the price of kerosene. We cannot have people in their homes that cannot turn on their heating. The other thing, I do want to welcome the excise cut this morning. Look, it is welcome, but there are already petrol pumps hiking the price to absorb it, and I've seen it myself. I've seen it happening. So, I mean, this is not right. We must call this out. I mean, when some businesses are going to go out of business and others then might take advantage of them. The public feel that they are not being listened to. We have learned how to work together in the pandemic, and we must work together now to save jobs, because I firmly believe now we're looking at livelihoods. And we are giving more money to the fuel allowance recipients, and I want to welcome that, the energy credit scheme, which will begin to show on people's electricity bills next month. And, this is welcome, and I say it, any help we give is so important. But, Minister, people are actually now crying out for more help here, and I believe that we need to do more on this. But can those businesses suffering because of the fuel crisis avail of the wage subsidy now? And I want you to come back to me under this bill. Are you exploring that criteria because of the global crisis? I welcome, as part of this bill, that of course we welcome the pandemic recognition payment will be tax-free as agreed by the government. But there's so much confusion again here, Minister. I've had so many nurses ring me and people ring me about who will get it, when will they get it, what is the timeline, what is the criteria, and what exactly is happening. And I just think, while I welcome again this, or just lack of information when we announce something, is I just can't understand that we don't give the proper timescale, the proper information, and let the frontline workers, let our nurses know what is happening. So I would ask you, Minister, that these issues, that you would come back to me on these issues. These are very, very serious issues, and I know everybody is doing their best, but I believe at the moment people are very worried. People are very worried about jobs. We're back again, I believe, the way we were nearly 2 years ago, but this is a different crisis. And if we don't help in this crisis, we are actually going to have huge changes. And it's not good for the people of Ireland, it's not good for their mental health, it's not good for jobs, but it's not good in general. So I ask you, please do what you can. Please do not leave anyone in a home where they cannot afford to turn on their heating oil. Thank you so much.